Welcome to Serious Beef. I'm Abby.
And I'm Anna.
Who's got beef today?
I have beef. Unfortunately, I have something called trigger finger, which I am not making that up. I am not making it up.
Kill the man.
It's a real
With this thumb.
Although it's in my thumb. And so I guess it's called trigger thumb. I have no idea. Okay, but it's in my thumb.
Okay.
And so, to make it short and simple, the tendons don't want to move right, and you get a little nodule down there by your base of your thumb, and then it doesn't.
Unlike the joint.
Yeah, and then when you try to bend your thumb, it clicks. It's hard. It hurts a lot. It's hard to move it. It clicks, and eventually it'll get stuck. Bent. It'll get stuck bent.
I can imagine you at the airport, and they're doing the search. You're checking as you're going through security, and then you move your thumb and it clicks. She's got a ball! Get her!
She's got a ball.
She's taking
it. So I have it in a splint to keep it from getting stuck in the trigger finger position. So keep it from getting stuck bent. But I'm irritated with the whole thing because now I have to go find a doctor and an ortho doctor, and it's very, very hard to work when your thumb is splinted. You can't move it. And you don't realize how much you use that appendage, apparently, that whatever.
Let's think of another word.
Finger or thumb. My fingies. It's very hard to work with it on. And so it got me thinking, okay, well, at least I'm in a pretty good situation where I work. That they're very flexible and whatever. So I thought, what?
It's not like you're doing some kind of manual labor with your thumb specifically.
So I'm typing but not using my thumb. Yeah,
sure.
Using my computer because I'm using a computer all day long.
You're strapped in today.
I am strapped in. The writing is difficult. Writing is quite difficult actually because I can't.
Well, thank
so
God
my handwriting looks terrible.
Thank God Ashley did all the work for this then.
This is true. Ashley is our everything. We still agree on that.
Ashley, thank God for Ashley.
Thank God for Ashley. But it got me thinking, what is your worst job? The worst job you've ever had? What would you say it is?
Worst job?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had some bad jobs. Ashley's had some bad jobs.
Since college.
Yeah. Since college. Yeah, high school didn't have... We mowed grass with Dad on the weekends, but that wasn't, that bad or anything like that.
Even during college, I don't think it was anything terrible.
No, I worked. Yeah, working for the newspaper in college was not bad. Ashley worked for Pepsi very briefly, stocking shelves when we were in college to pay the rent, and that was pretty bad.
Hated it.
That was one of the worst jobs.
That is a terrible job.
Grocery stores are gross.
They are gross.
I just discovered this, and I don't know why I was shocked by the presence of rats in the grocery stores, but that, disturbing. Disturbing thoughts for me now.
Yeah, do not go to the back rooms of grocery stores.
It's a nightmare.
You want to keep the illusion of
clean
grocery stores.
Eek.
Other than that...
But since college,
I had a couple tough back-to-backers.
I think in your line of work, and not just you, that's not exclusive to you, but in some degrees, whatever, you have to work that low-paying crap job until you get the experience that other companies want, to get in a good position. So unfortunately,
I worked a real crap.
You take what you can get.
Real crap jobs.
Okay, so then worst one.
The worst one is got to be the basement job. The job we will henceforth refer to as the basement job.
The basement job. We won't name names.
No, it was a print shop that we had a brick and mortar. It was just me and the owner, and I would do the design for business cards, flyers, whatever, and then people could bring in things as well, and we would we'd print them, kind of like a FedEx or whatever you could go in, but just a very small business kind of thing. We had a very small actual brick and mortar. Is just a house that they'd kind of converted into a small business. And I was there for probably 3 months, I think. And then to cut overhead, my boss chose to she made the business decision to move the shop to her mother's basement.
Hence the basement
Hence
job.
the basement
Okay.
job.
Okay.
So I guess a little backstory is that my boss was like, she was like 55, I think, minimum. So her mother was like 90 years old.
Oh boy.
So yeah. So we spent like a whole month. I boxed everything up. I moved boxes of just paper, which is like so heavy.
Oh, very heavy.
Right? Because it's just paper. Boxes upon boxes, and moved all the equipment over. Set everything up in the basement. We went from having like, I had a desk in like the lobby-ish area where people could come in, and she had like a back office, to we're no longer taking any walk-in traffic, obviously. And
Why not? Why not? Into the basement.
Who can say?
Yeah.
Who can say? And I sat at a desk, and then there was one of those like very flimsy office partitions, and then on the other side of that is where she sat at her desk. So if it weren't for the partition, we would literally have been staring at each other in the basement. To set the scene, this house is from like the 50s, like super old house.
City housing, too.
City housing, yep, wasn't great. You might be thinking to yourself, if we move to a basement, like it must be finished, because why else would you move? No.
Don't even go there. We're gonna set straight right now. No.
Concrete flooring, the walls. There's not even drywall on the walls. It's just like exposed wood. Cobwebs all in like the ceiling, which is, you know what I mean? Because it's just exposed, right? The stairs are the old rickety wooden stairs, super steep. No, what is it? No backs. Open backs. Horrible. So we were down there, and that's where all the equipment was, and my boss also had a dog, like super sweet dog, and she brought her into the office typically, and there came a point that she sat me down and told me that she had gotten another job, which was
Jeez. Her business. It's her business.
It's her company. Yeah, she owned the company.
Yeah,
They've been in business for like 30, 40 years or something like that. Yeah, I know.
Well, it couldn't have been 40 years if she was only
That's
55. Started this business at 15.
What an entrepreneur.
That's true. She was probably more like 25 years, I think. It's probably more like 25 years.
That makes it. She's been in business for 50 years. No, okay, go ahead.
It's all running together, okay? Half of this is like blacked out of my memories. I've repressed it so strongly.
And if she tells you she's in therapy, it's not because of her mother. It's because of the basement job.
It's the basement job, yeah. So she sits me down and tells me that she's got another job. Now, I had been looking for another job, obviously, because I needed to get out.
Get out of the basement.
I needed to get out. I was commuting 45 minutes to an hour each way to go work in this basement, where I'd pull up to the house, and the driveway like went down this hill. So I'd go down this hill to behind the house, and then the basement opened out into.
It was a walkout basement?
Yes, it was like a walkout basement, right. There were like glass sliding doors. You couldn't use them though. You couldn't use them. So
did they not work, or she just wouldn't unlock them?
I really wasn't sure, honestly.
Okay.
Stop asking questions.
I honestly, about that time, I just kind of stopped asking questions because I needed a paycheck.
Right.
So, every morning for 9 months.
You were in the basement for 9 months?
Maybe it might have been more like 7.
No,
but it was like early December through I got my next job in like that end of July.
Oh boy.
So
it was a long
7, 8 months.
Okay, that sounds about right. Yeah. I didn't realize you were in that basement
yeah.
that long. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So every morning you have to.
So every morning I
drive
drive down.
there.
I drive down. I put it in park. I beep my horn because I wasn't allowed. The mother was like paranoid that like to give me a garage door opener. I guess I don't know. I mean. Again, we're still not asking questions.
Right. It is what it is. Yeah.
But I'd beep my horn at like 7 in the morning, and 90-year-old grandma would get out of bed and walk herself over to the window, which overlooked down, and could see that I was there. And then she would hit the garage door opener that she had and let me into the garage. And then from there, I would search on the wooden shelves in the garage to find the key that my boss had hidden somewhere on the shelves. And I would get the key, and then I would unlock the basement doors, and I would go in, and that was my routine every morning, was to let myself in.
And she never hid the key in the same place?
It was always somewhere, but it's, I mean, imagine, if you will, like a garage full of just stuff. It wasn't, again, it's like, she's just got paint cans and loose nuts and bolts and tools and like all the stuff on these shelves. So it's on there somewhere.
Oh my God.
I'll find it.
Wow.
It was usually one of the two, but I still had to look, a little bit. Then I'd go in and whatnot. And so that's what I did. And so she sits me down and tells me that she's gotten another job. And which was wild to hear because I was like, this is I'm supposed to tell you this. This is not how this is supposed to go. I assumed she was just gonna sit me down and tell me she was laying me off, and honestly I was like, that's fine.
It's for the best.
That's fine. But she wasn't telling me that.
Wow.
she
And when was this? When did she tell you? Was this like in the spring, wasn't it?
It was pretty
April, May.
I think it was like April.
Yeah, she said this.
Yeah, so
okay.
from April to July, she had another job. So I'd come in a little bit later and stay a little bit later so that we would overlap so she could get off of her job and come to the basement and we would overlap a little bit. And, but her routine was wild because, so I'm in the basement doing the whole thing.
Running the business now.
I'm running the I'm running the show.
Because she's left.
Right, I'm taking all the phone calls, I'm designing everything, I'm pricing I'm doing it all. And that's just it. Like, I would design everything, then I'd go over, I'd print everything out, cut everything, package it up, send it on the thing, be like, you need to, like, take this to whoever. Or I would then put everything in a box, and I'd package it up, and I'd ship it. And whatnot. So I'm doing all of that down in this basement. And so she would get up and come to the mom's house and drop off her dog.
So she brought the dog every day, but now that she's going to a different job, she's
still
leaving the dog there.
She's leaving the dog with me.
And I think it's worth noting that this woman lived on a houseboat.
I don't even know that it was a houseboat.
Oh, it was just a boat.
Unconfirmed, I never saw it. I just know that she lived on a boat. But that's why she couldn't leave the dog there. She couldn't leave the dog on the boat, apparently. So she'd come. So she'd get to the mom's house before I got there, drop off the dog, and she'd go to work. And then I would feed the dog in the morning.
In charge of the dog.
I was in charge of the dog. I'd have to let the dog out. And at the office, I also had to let the dog out at the office when we had a brick and mortar. But the thing was that there was like a fenced in yard behind. So I just kind of like to let the dog out. There's no fenced in yard. No fenced in yard at the mom's house.
Oh, awesome.
So does she leave me the leash that I know she must have used to bring the dog here? No. What I have? No. What I have?
You don't have a leash?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh boy.
She's left me a 2-foot long Build-A-Bear leash, effectively. It's not Build-A-Bear, but you're picturing it, right? This tiny itty bitty leash
for a stuffed animal.
I mean, it might as well, but it wasn't literally for stuff, but that's what it was. It was a tiny leash.
It's like the leash that the vet uses to, like, put a slip on the dog just to bring him in real quick.
It was shorter than that.
Shorter than that.
Oh my God.
It was shorter than that. it clipped onto the collar. You see what I mean? Like it's literally like a tiny Build-A-Bear leash.
Okay.
It wasn't a slip thing. Like I would have understood if it was a slip thing. Like if that's all you have, but there's no way you had to have brought the dog here, and I know you didn't use this, but so it's also worth noting that her dog is like a pit bull.
Oh. So not a little bitty dog.
No, it's not this. I mean, I guess thank God. But still, I've got the dog on this super short leash, and now I have to stop what I'm doing. Even though I'm running this, I got to stop what I'm doing to take the dog outside, and on this, it had 2 foot, and not even really. I don't even know if it was a full 2 feet, because my arm is like completely extended, and I'm hunched over. I look like bent in half, taking the dog. I'm like, Daisy, I need you to go pee because I have to go back inside, and it's freezing.
Oh no!
I'm in dress shoes. I'm like, come on, like.
It was. Made you wear dress clothes to work in the basement.
I'm actually over. I apologize. I'm over exaggerating. I was in tennis shoes because when we moved to the basement, I put my foot down that I'm not dressing business casual.
No.
If we're not having walk-in traffic, then who am I dressing for?
Nobody.
And if no one is gonna be here,
You're dressing for her mom.
If your boss isn't even gonna be
right?
there,
That's what I'm saying.
Who cares?
Who am I dressing for? Mm-mm. So yeah. So I take the dog out on the short leash.
Nice.
On the short leash, that's a classic. The short leash is a classic.
Dog on the short leash.
Dog on the short leash. Bring the dog back in.
Okay.
And it was just one thing after the other. Like that job was so bad that it's hilarious. I think because the amount of things that you're like, there's no way that it could get worse than being in a basement, taking the dog on the short leash, and you're by yourself because the owner of the company has gotten another job.
The owner leaves for another job.
Right. Okay. And you would think that, what else? What else could you really... What else could there really be?
That was her first mistake, thinking it can't possibly get any worse. How could it get worse than this?
Well, because she lived on the boat, she obviously doesn't have a washer dryer, she's got a washer dryer in the mom's basement. So that's where she did all of her laundry. And again, to remind the listeners, the business is also in the basement. So she would wash her clothes, dry them. Anything that couldn't be dried in the dryer, she would hang dry.
The delicates.
Her bras, some underwear, baskets of clothing. She's got her bra's literally hanging over the paper cutting station. I'm like, I gotta...
What? Over the paper cutting station?
I know, I was like...
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? I'm like, okay,
no.
I'm making these menus for the local Mexican restaurant up there. Print them all out. I go over to the cutting thing. I have to slide her bras down the thing.
Oh my
and then I cut all of the things, and then I package them up and set them for her to take to the thing. I know.
Oh,
I know.
Wow.
I know. I've talked to some of our friends that we're friends with on Snapchat from SIU and Ash and whatnot too. Like we're
and you guys you're all graphic designers.
Oh, this Snapchat group is we're all graphic designers and whatnot. We this is referred to as like the golden age of Snapchat content from me, because it is every day was something. Every day was something. I remember the one day
the bras are on the cutting station.
The one day I like walked and it was like, hey MTV, welcome to my crib, and we walked around the unfinished basement, and I remember getting messages back like, okay, so you've been like filming yourself, like usually you just see yourself and like the computer behind me and this like half partition wall, and whatnot, and that's all like usually you would see, and I would just kind of talk about the travesties that had fallen me in the basement. And so I did the thing, and I remember getting messages back like, hold on. You're saying this whole time this hasn't been a finished basement because I just had not mentioned that.
Right.
And they're like, why? Why are you still here? The amount of people that told me to quit my job in that 9 months was just about everybody that I talked to about my job.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, what was I supposed to do? I gotta get a paycheck. But
you gotta get experience to put on that resume.
I gotta put it on that resume. God bless.
Now my favorite story that you told me.
Oh, I know what this is. This is also my favorite story.
Okay.
So we're in a basement in Missouri.
I think it's been established.
No.
That you were in the basement.
I don't think it's been
Where's Mary? We need
established.
her. Has it been verified?
Has
that
been
you were
verified.
in the basement?
Listen, I don't think it's been overstated yet. Okay.
We can't make this clearer.
I cannot.
Can't express it more.
I can't stress this enough.
That it was in the basement.
This basement job. So
Okay.
So we start to have issues with the printers because
Imagine that you were in a basement.
right, we're in the basement in Missouri and it was like springtime. Okay, so it's
Going into a humid hot summer.
into a humid hot summer. It's like dank. It's like humid in the basement.
And it's unfinished.
It's an unfinished basement. It's not sealed. It's not sealed.
It's damp down there.
Oh, did I mention that we actually didn't have the whole basement? Have I ever told you that we didn't have the whole basement? We only had half.
What was in the other half?
Like her brother's stuff. It was just these horribly put together wooden shells that just had stuff.
Oh.
That was like...
Is this the brother that slept upstairs while you worked?
No, that was her son.
Oh.
And he didn't sleep upstairs. He
That
slept
was
on the
your
couch.
boss's son.
My boss's son slept on the couch that was in the basement while I worked in the basement.
Yeah, creepy.
My last day, I remember this vividly because I sent a Snapchat out. That I'm supposed to be, I had, my last day I told her that I had gotten another job and yada yada yada, and her son was going to be, like, kind of holding down the fort because she was in the process of selling the company, right? More or less. And who knows where they're at, where that's at. I can't say. I washed my hands of that place long ago.
Yeah, I'm done.
But I was supposed to be like teaching her son how to do like the basics as far as like, okay, this is how you print off these things, this is what you do, you know, all that kind of stuff, so that he could hold down the fort while she was at work. And so the last day, I'm like finishing up these last things, and I can hear him on the other side of the wall clipping his toenails.
Oh my God. Wow.
I wish we had a camera on Ashley's face right now.
I am beyond stunned.
Ashley's
I've been
stunned.
married to you for 6 years, and I still don't like clipping my toenails in front of you.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I'll do it because I don't really have other places to go, but
Well, around like you, like,
I would
you're
never
my wife,
I would
whatever.
never do it in front of a stranger unless it's
stranger.
absolutely necessary.
And not in such a business-like
My
setting
mother's-
as the basement.
Would you do it in front of your mother's employee?
No, you would not.
We weren't friends.
No.
The confidence of a white male.
Gee whiz. That's crazy.
So she, back to the humidity.
Okay, yeah.
In the basement.
This is going to be a
In
problem.
the basement.
In the basement.
The printers start to have issues. They're jamming, they're not printing correctly, there's creases going through the paper, a whole bunch of stuff. And we had like our tech guy come out to look, like they, you know, whoever like gave us these like, like they're like big printers, right?
Yeah.
And he comes out and he's like, well, it's because it's like humid. And like had given us a sheet of like, this is the recommended humidity, which you need to keep it at. And we were not at that. But then she had insisted that she had Googled and that the recommended humidity that he had given us was like Arizona in the desert. And I'm like,
Wrong.
okay.
He works.
Sure.
He works for the printing company, but he doesn't know what he's talking about.
She insisted that there was no humidity in that basement. That was that was the hill she was going to die on.
Didn't she say something like, it's not wet in here? Like,
Yeah,
just
like I guess
around.
because like the walls weren't dripping, that it wasn't. She's like, they couldn't possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. She was saying how the laundry was drying just fine, so it couldn't possibly.
Yeah, let's just
be humid.
How could it be humid when I'm hanging up my wet laundry to air dry in the
Yeah.
basement?
And you're just like, you obviously.
All that water goes somewhere.
And yeah, but she doesn't know about apparently evaporation and how there's.
She didn't know about a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah.
So she insisted it couldn't be the humidity.
It can't possibly.
Couldn't be that.
So what did she think humidity meant? That everything would feel wet?
I guess.
Oh.
I guess she thought that she's like, well, I've been outside when it's humid. right? You know, like when it's like 90% humidity,
crazy
right?
humidity, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, just because it's only like 50% humidity in here doesn't mean it's not humid.
Right.
Like, that's too much.
For a printer and
For a
paper, for
printer?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a basement, that's normal. But for when you're trying to run a print shop out of here, come on. Come on. So she insisted it wasn't that. So I'm like, okay, well, like,
Then what is it?
well, what do we
What's
do?
the problem?
She's like, well, obviously it's getting moisture from somewhere.
So it wasn't humid in the basement, but she did.
What?
But she did
can't-
agree that there was moisture in the printer or
Moisture-
the paper, or probably both.
She.
But who knew where it was coming from?
I can't.
It can't possibly be the humid basement.
Okay, so she's like, the moisture is getting into the printer from somewhere and is causing these issues. And so yes, she insisted that the moisture was in the paper.
Okay. So.
And I feel like, and maybe, I don't know, maybe like I shouldn't laugh this hard because like maybe as a graphic designer who's worked in a print shop, like I am well aware that if the paper had that much moisture to be messing up the machine, I would have to be feeding it in wet, like sopping wet. But so maybe I shouldn't be laughing because maybe it's not a given. But also, she'd run this print shop for 25 years, so I'd like to think she knew that.
Also, she lives in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Where you get humidity every
She
all the time.
lives on a boat, like.
On the
There's
water.
humidity on the water. Like, she has to know how humidity works. But she doesn't.
No.
Okay, so in her mind...
So it must be the paper.
It's the paper.
So I'm like, okay. Well, I don't know how to fix that. Is basically what I told her. And I'll be honest, by the time that this is happening again, it's like April, May. It's raining, rainy spring. Maybe it's even June. I kind of had it.
Who knows? Yeah, you're done. She's left.
You know, there
she
are so
abandoned her
many
own company.
There are so many other things. These are just the highlights. There are so many things. So by this time, I'm done. I don't really care anymore. I'm like, honestly, fire me and that's fine. Like, go ahead. At this point, I don't care.
Okay.
So I'm sitting at my desk. Which my second screen, by the way, because we couldn't get another computer monitor, was a TV.
Was it a flat screen at least?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. It was. But Ashley, as a graphic designer, knows that the colors are completely wrong.
Oh, no. Okay.
They're completely wrong on the TV screen. But I had a TV that was, I don't know, probably like this wide. So what would you say? Like... How big is this? Like
26 to 30 inches.
I would say this is like 36-inch TV.
Yeah.
So, big, yeah. Yeah.
You had that big of a TV sitting on your desk? And then just a regular computer monitor.
I'm nodding at you, realizing that's not going to translate well to an audio format.
We can't hear your head rattle, Abby. Well, that's an interesting setup.
I had one PC hooked up to a regular computer monitor and then a 36-inch screen, flat screen TV.
Totally proportionate.
Cheap, super cheap. TV, not good. Colors are way off.
Colors gotta be terrible.
I have to lean back because if I get too close, I have to lean back because if I get too close, you can see like the lights. You know what I mean? Like if you're like gotten really close to a TV. Yeah, if I sit too close, if I sit at a normal distance away from my screen, quote unquote, I can't actually see the design.
Abby having to work across
She's
the
tipping
basement.
she's tipping her chair back.
As we already know, I'm blind. My strongest asset is going to be if things are up close, and I couldn't even do that.
Wow.
So, sorry.
Okay,
I'm off track on the
topic.
TV.
I didn't know about that.
I know. Things just come back to me. Back on track. I didn't know what to do about that.
Yeah, so you told her I can't fix
I
that
don't know what you want me to do
in the
about
paper.
that. And I'm sitting in my desk, like, slightly reclined. I don't really care. And she's like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a few sheets of paper, not like a stack of paper, a few sheets, like 5 sheets, on this baking tray. And I'm going to put that in the oven upstairs.
She turned the oven on, I assume.
Well, yeah,
And
well,
put the-
I'm sorry. I'm
And
not
put the paper. What temperature was the oven set at?
She said very low. That's all I got.
She put the paper
She put the paper on the baking sheet and into the oven very low.
for like,
I don't know.
bake your paper on very low for 5 minutes, whatever. Okay.
It could have been longer than a minute.
Okay.
You know, how long are you going to bake the paper?
Before it
I
catches
know.
fire.
Right. I
Never
was
baked paper before, so
Never-
no idea.
like,
Okay.
so then, that's upstairs.
Sure.
The printer is downstairs.
Of course.
So you can't go straight from that into the printer. The visual will stay with me forever. I hear the oven open. Because, again, this house is in the 50s. This is the oldest oven I've ever seen in my life. Opens the oven. You remember Grandma Grandpa's that was like
In the wall. It was
elevated?
in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she had.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, elevated in the wall.
Opens the oven.
You hear the thing come out. She's banging around, slams the oven shut, puts the tray down on the thing, grabs the paper, sprints down the stairs,
The old rickety backless stair.
all the way down the stairs, throws the paper into the printer, and hits print. And then it went through, and it was still fucked up.
How many times did she try
She did
baking?
this like 5 times.
Oh my gosh. She baked the paper 5 times.
Imagine this woman, she's like near her 60s, okay, is when she's gonna do this. Like, slams this around, runs down throws this paper out. I'm like, what is going on? I can hear the oven is slamming around upstairs. I'm like, what is going on? But honestly, I was like, what is going on? But then I'm sitting there like, I'm getting paid minimum wage. Which, I can't even believe I was getting paid minimum
I have a
wage.
college degree and I'm getting crap
I
salary.
was getting paid,
Working in
it
the
was like
basement
maybe a
with
little
her
bit more than
bras.
minimum wage. It might have been like, at that point, like maybe $9
I
an
think
hour.
she gave you a raise.
Oh, did she?
Remember, she gave you the raise, and then you were like, yeah, so worth it. So
Thanks for
worth
the
it
crumb.
to work in the basement here.
Yeah, I think she raised it to like $9.50 an hour or something like that. And I'm like, why am I driving an hour to Missouri to work in my boss's mother's basement?
What is it? What's the statement? What doesn't
It
kill?
builds character.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Oh, maybe.
Look what a better person you are today.
Am
Abby,
I?
For working.
I got this eye
What doesn't
twitch.
kill you gives you a hell of a lot of trauma.
This is true.
Honestly, it just gives me good stories.
It gives you really good stories for
It
your
does.
podcast.
It does. I remember I go to my therapist's office or wherever when I was going when I get done, you know, with work and whatnot. I should say, while I was working there, I was also going to therapy, seeing the same therapist and whatnot. And so I would go see her.
Well, that working there caused your
Right.
all of your
So-
issues. Remember, listeners, it caused all of her issues. Had nothing to do with her mother, and she had to go.
She's getting real defensive. Nobody's brought anything up, but maybe I should start examining
Everyone
that.
blames their mother when they're in therapy, but not my kids.
Not my kids.
Not my kids.
Because I'm perfect.
I am the perfect mother. I am not a regular mom. I am a cool mom.
How many moms do you know have podcasts?
None. Me.
But we're getting off track.
We are getting off track. So she bakes the paper.
Well, my therapist,
Does it work?
My therapist says that this is some of the best content.
Oh, okay.
Because she's like, well, now we talk about more real things, but there are some really good stories.
Stories. Maybe we should have called our podcast "Stories from the Basement." Who knows? Missed opportunity. So did she ever just go get a dehumidifier?
Eventually, after making the paper 5 separate times didn't work, she already had one. Apparently there was already one there. I just didn't know that it was in the basement. Otherwise, I would have plugged it in.
Just turned it on, plugged it in. Problem solved.
So one morning she decides that they're going to try this. So she plugs it in, maybe the night before, maybe the day of, whatever. Like, I'm not there yet, basically. It's either after I left the night before or before I got there.
Okay.
I show up. And I have a Snapchat of this because I was laughing so hard that I had to go back and do it. And so I go, my boss is insisting there is no water in this air. And then I go over to the dehumidifier, which is completely full of water. And I go, what do you call that, bitch?
There's so much water in the dehumidifier.
It was so full. I gotta empty it, chuck it. It was full by the time I left.
Like full again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
did the printer start working?
Sort of.
Oh, sort of.
Damage.
I mean, the printer was kind of a piece of shit because it was like the cheapest thing you could get that could do all the things we needed, right?
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I just had a moment because I remembered that when Ash and I bought our house while I was working at this job, and I had said that like it was like a 3-bedroom house or something like that. And obviously we are like, well, one office, spare bedroom, and our bedroom.
Sure. And
she had mapped out her house as well and went, bedroom, spare bedroom, that room, what if you took the printers and we put them in your house and then you could work from home? What do you mean, what if I took the printers? No, I don't want these printers. What do you mean? What do you mean?
You were supposed to take all that crap equipment.
She offered to sell me. She offered to sell. This should have been. I mean, red flags should have been going up from the minute I walked in the door on day one because she offered to sell me the business. She was like, "Oh, have you ever thought about like, starting your own business and things like that?" I was like, "Well, I mean, like my wife and I had kind of thought about it because we're both graphic designers. Maybe someday." She's like, "Oh, well, I could sell you my book of business, my clients." It is week 1. When I was working there.
She said that the very first week?
It might have been like
and
day
she's
2 or 3.
paying you minimum wage, and you were part-time at that time. Certainly I can afford to buy this business. Not a problem.
Yeah. So she wanted me to buy the business. She wanted me to move the equipment into our house.
She told, when you told her that I was going to say no, she offered to talk to me.
Mm-hmm. I said...
my God.
I'll talk to her. I was like, it's okay. I'll talk to her. But honestly, I just don't think we have the space because we have a bunch of stuff. We have the spare bedroom, and then we do need an office and da da da. Right? I don't really care. The answer was no. I'm not taking this.
No. Yeah.
I'm not taking this. So that's probably the worst job I ever worked, but also probably the best stories I have. And
true.
There are so many more. And sometimes some of it is not even things that had to do with her or the working conditions because like one guy brought in this like I think it's like a school project, like he's in college, and there's this whole like erotic photo shoot and I had to print those off.
Oh my God.
At work on the large format printer. Can you imagine? This thing is like 3 feet wide by 2 feet tall, man laying on his side, completely naked, like fur hat, the flaps down, holding a Barney toy over his crotch.
Are you serious? Is this one of the picture? You had to print that?
Is this a Cousin Eddie photo shoot?
Like, he's why the head? Why the Barney? What?
The questions we will never get answered.
And you'll never know.
And that had nothing to do with her or the business or anything like that.
That was a customer.
That was a client.
What? I want to know why the Barney. Why?
It's the exact Barney toy that I have.
You have that Barney?
Yeah, from when I was growing up. Yeah.
Do you think he like had a nickname for his?
The picture of the man is not who dropped off the stuff.
No, I meant the dude. Well, who knows?
No, I just want to say it was.
The photographer took a picture of another man.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I think, I think it was like supposed to be like a joke project for this guy in like film school, but or whatever, going to college or something like that. But
some kind of art school.
But I had to print it out like 3 feet wide.
Like this was gonna be like a display.
That's one big Barney.
That's what I just want to know if that was his nickname.
I mean,
hold
on.
So wait, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. She nicknames his
Kroll
the Warrior King. Maybe this dude's nickname for his
Barney
manhood is Barney. What do you think?
Barney Rubble?
I tell you what.
Who knows? Well, like I said, with this pure speculation, we'll never know.
She said, "What do you think?" At the time, I wasn't trying to think at all.
I didn't really want to think about it at all.
It
was staring me in the face while I printed it out. So, do you think this was like an exhibition? Like he was printing for a showing? He has a showing.
I don't know. Maybe.
What?
And then I had to like print it out. Then I had to like flatten it out because I had to trim it. I had to cut it out. What a time to be alive. I should clarify. It was a good quality picture.
What a
He knew what he was doing.
he did a good job.
Good composition.
Just question the
I'm
content.
gonna have to find the Snapchat because it's like printing out, and the Snapchat I have of it printing out is like you see the guy's eyes.
Oh no!
Like, and then it's like slowly, like, it's showing more and more.
No.
I was dying. I was like, honest.
How many pictures did you print for this guy?
Just that one.
Oh,
truthfully.
legit, just that one. Darn, I want to see the whole exhibit. Can you imagine? He's got these.
Are you interested?
Still not the whole exhibit, but he's got
The what exhibit?
the whole exhibit. He's got them all up in this exhibit, this showing, right? And I can just see these people like giggling, and then he's like standing there. It's not funny. It's art.
He like it was one of those things like he knew that it was like goofy or whatever, and
No,
I mean
it was Barney.
You're done. You're off the podcast.
She just fired. You just
All right,
fired.
You're back on because I don't know how to edit it.
do everything. Right?
I don't know how to edit. You're back on.
We would be lost without her.
I mean, okay, when we were in school, the projects that I would do were always like at least mildly tongue in cheek. You know what I mean? At least a little bit.
Well, no one ever
I'm gonna do boring stuff
would
the
expect
rest of my
anything
career,
less from
right?
you. Yes.
I'm gonna always do boring stuff the rest of my career. I'm
Sure.
gonna, right now I work at the credit union, and it's actually I get to do more fun stuff there. Can't really complain. But before that, I got to do stuff for like legal companies and construction and it's all like pretty dry medical hospital things like
Nothing
that.
super fun.
Yeah, it's pretty dry. So I'm like I'm gonna do
Some
law
fun stuff, yeah.
stuff.
Why not?
My whole rest of my career. This is my one time to do stupid stuff. So we had like a song lyrics project. And it was like you had this little like pop-up book that you were supposed to make, and you had the lyrics on there, and on the back you kind of were supposed to write a little like thing about the lyrics and what they mean, or maybe what they mean to you or whatever.
Okay.
And so the song I went with was "Put That Thing Back Where It Came From, or So Help Me."
From Monsters Inc.
So when you would open the card, and there would be like Sully, Mike, and Boo would be like up, and then the back of it looked like the door, right? When you would up, and then it had "Put That Thing Back Where It Came From." Suddenly, the lyrics would be down below.
Okay.
And then when you flipped it over on the back,
You had what the song meant to you.
I put like the whimsical melody of Michael Wazowski. And the lyrics, "Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me," really speaks to, I think, everyone, because everyone needs a little help sometimes. And then it was like the rhythmic bums from James B. Sullivan in the background. The rhythmic bums of James B. Sullivan helps drive it home.
Oh my god!
So this is my project.
What an absolute smartass.
Those were most of my projects were
That's
dumb like
hilarious.
that. So I'm like whatever, like if this guy's doing a stupid funny project, I'm like good.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you that you found some guy willing to take this
Right.
picture.
I mean, that's actually hilarious.
Hilarious.
I want to know the story.
I
My
know.
brother took my youngest brother took a photography class once, and so I believe it was maybe the last assignment of the semester, you had to turn in a self-portrait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember this.
Right. So
I don't think Ashley knows about
So
this.
he set up his camera, had the timer on, and he stepped out of the shower and had a towel just wrapped around his waist, which my brother was a big man. I want to say 6'3", big guy. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Big guy.
Big guy. Like, looked like a linebacker. I mean, right? I mean,
Like
he was-
a Jason Kelsey-esque
Yes.
build.
Yeah. Same kind of gut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit. He's a big dude. The towel doesn't go all the way around, so there's a lot of legs showing on the one
On the
side,
leg.
right? The gut is out. Steps out of the shower, looks up, surprise, click. The camera clicks. That was his self-portrait.
No, not like happy, like. Oh, like so he looked like surprised,
Like he had
"Who's
gotten
taking
caught.
who's taking my picture?
Coming out of the shower.
That was his
that
self-portrait.
he turned that in
That's
as
amazing.
his self-portrait, and the teacher just
Black and white. He comes to
black and white.
shows up to Thanksgiving. Look at my self-portrait.
Look at myself, and we're all like, "Holy crap!" What did you do?
I got an A.
My mom was so dead. She was just like, you can't turn that in. That's terrible. You already did. Got an A. She was so mad. She's like, what are you doing?
Great.
Oh,
It was
so
great.
funny.
That was so good. Yeah.
So I can appreciate a good,
I appreciate good.
yeah, hilarious. Why poke fun at your assignment? Why not?
Of
Right?
course.
Have fun with it.
Of course. I'm not
Hilarious.
gonna take it that serious.
Well, I am very happy
that I no longer work
that
in
you
the
no
basement.
longer work in the basement. I'm
It's
happy
true.
that you are reached your life goal of getting out of the base.
I didn't know it was a life goal till I was in the basement.
Right?
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm happy that you are
But you know,
not stuck in the basement anymore.
no, I 9 months in the
I
basement.
can't believe you spent that much time in that basement. I mean, the thing is, yeah, you got to do what you got to do because you're
It wasn't for lack of trying to
right,
get out.
You're fresh out of
No.
college. Everybody wants 5 years experience, you know, and you can't get experience if somebody isn't willing to give you a shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's frustrating.
But yeah,
You
the
put in your-
amount, like I
you
said,
put in
9
your
months.
time
The
and-
amount of
yeah.
stories from that basement that, like I said, we've scratched the surface here. But yeah, that would be an entire podcast in and of itself to
If
go.
you
just
had to
go
lay
through
it all out
those.
there, right?
All through
Oh
those.
my gosh.
Well, all right. Well,
Okay.
off the basement.
Oh, okay.
What is you got? You got skinny. Got some scoop. Got the poop.
I do. Here's the skinny, here's the scoop, here's the poop. Okay, here saw this headline and had to read more.
Oh,
Okay.
That's you know what? That's doing its job.
When the headline is doing its job, you know you're gonna hopefully get a good story, right? So the headline is
Yeah.
that's the goal anyway, right?
When the headline looks really enticing, I'm gonna click on that article.
The point of a
That
headline.
is the point of the headline.
Thank you.
It did its
It
job.
did its job.
Okay. So, good job, Debbie Lord of Cox Media Group. Anyway, COX Media Group. I am reading it from the thing. I kid you not. Cairo 7, live, local, and in depth.
It writes itself.
I didn't even write this. This is straight from the website. Holy crap.
Media
In
depth.
In depth. Okay, here we go. You ready? I can't read it out loud. I'm gonna take the kettle off. Take the kettle off. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I would have clicked on it just for that information.
It's legit. Okay, I didn't get that though till I clicked on it. So
Okay, and who's the author on this, Debbie?
Debbie Lord.
Who
Good Lord, Debbie.
I'm praying to right now.
Okay, the story is thus. A woman, a 57-year-old woman,
Okay.
gets shot in the buttocks because she took her gun into the MRI. Why? Why would you take your gun in
MRIs
there?
are just giant magnets.
It's a freaking magnet.
For anyone who's never had an MRI and knows nothing about MRIs, it's a giant magnet. Like if you go in and they ask you if you have any metal on your body, do not
or in your body.
or in your body, don't lie.
Don't lie.
I
Does it
don't
hurt?
care.
You're
I
gonna
don't
get your
care
ass
if
hurt.
it's-
Literally.
I don't care if it's extremely embarrassing. You must tell them.
Yeah.
Because it will rip the metal from your body. It is
If you
not
have
funny.
metal in your body or on your body, it's going to
It's
remove it.
It's gonna try
and it's going to stick to the magnet.
somewhere else.
So, okay. She is shot, literally, I'm reading to you, in the buttocks by her own gun when she took it into the MRI, which stands for Magnetic Resonance Imaging Machine, okay, while she was having, obviously, an MRI done, okay.
What?
The weapon was grabbed up by the machine's magnetic force,
Okay.
causing it to fire, and the bullet hitting her in the butt. First of all,
Two things. Two.
Okay.
Two.
hit me.
First.
Ashley's
almost
stunned.
speechless.
She's
She
stunned.
almost speechless here.
Every MRI I've had, and I've had a bunch,
Right.
I have to change it to a gown.
I
what-
have not. I did not
No,
have to change
no,
it again.
I'm not.
Okay, I've had to
What
change
part
it to
of
a
your
gown.
body were you having MRIing? Is that a word? I don't even know.
What part of your body
I
were
mean,
you having
I've
an
had my
MRI
head,
done?
Your
I've
head.
had
My head,
chest,
I had one
I've
for my
had
head.
my leg, I've had pretty much all upper body. but
Okay.
My head, I did not have to. It was like, but I went to like the urgent care.
okay.
Yeah, I mean-
maybe
And it
it's-
was not an open MRI though. That one is an open MRI, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I just recently had one done because I have herniated disc in my neck. So my head went in, head neck went in. And they were like, do you have any metal, of course? And I said, no, I knew I could not have metal. And thankfully I do not
Glasses,
have any.
earrings, all that.
I don't have any metal. I mean, they did take my glasses.
Yeah, because I always have to take my industrial bar
I didn't
out.
wear any jewelry because I knew I couldn't.
Do
And
fillings like count or no?
I don't have
I
any
don't
metal
think
fillings.
it's long enough. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's strong, like a strong enough pull to like
For that.
for that.
And I don't know what that I don't even know what they
If it's
use
like,
anymore.
yeah. Well, because
But
like,
they took my glasses clearly out of the room because there is metal on my glasses. And they were like, do you have any metal on your clothing? Because like if I would have had like jeans on with like a zipper or something. Okay. So if you had like something with a zipper on, then that would have been an issue. But I wore sweatpants and
Okay.
like a t-shirt. So I knew I wouldn't have any metal.
And I mean, in your favorite metal bra. All metal.
It's that
it's a
Princess
breastplate.
Leia. It's that Princess Leia bra.
Yeah.
So
I picked the wrong day
Oh,
for
you
the
know
Princess
what?
Leia bra.
I take that back, Ashley. They made me put the gown on, but they said I could leave my sweatpants on because I didn't have any metal on them.
Yeah, I'm like, I've had it where like I got to like.
So
I
you're right. The
usually
bra
wear
had to come up because there's
yeah.
hooks and stuff. You're right.
Yeah.
I had to put the
I
gown
was
on
joking,
the top.
but that's funny.
So either way,
Yeah.
that's my question number one. Was she wearing a gown? Question number two.
Where was the
where
gown
was the
then? If she had to
technician?
change into the gown.
Where's the technician who is like, okay, you like. A gun is you either have that up your ass or you have a holster
mullet.
on it.
That's what I want to know. Where was the hat? Where was the hat? Where was the, where did the hat come from? Where was the gun?
Well, that's my thing.
Where did she
She
have it?
must have been laying face down, right, to get shot in the butt.
It doesn't say.
Or it
No,
went
but
on, or it
imagine-
got pulled down and
But
it
then
went.
but her butt would have been on the table.
her butt would have been down on the table.
Unless,
She-
So
unless
her-
it went through the
so-
side.
I would like to think that to me it makes the most sense if she was laying face down and the thing got pulled.
You know what?
That's the most likely way for her to get shot in the
Either
butt.
way,
I really don't know.
why
But
are
it
you
doesn't.
what I'm
putting
saying-
a gun
what I'm saying
into a
If you're laying
MRI?
face down, the tech can see you. You can't see. Can you not see, like the gun? Can you not see the gun on
Honestly,
the person?
I have no idea. It doesn't even say. It just
we're-
says that they asked her
Uh-huh.
if she had any metal.
Yeah.
And then it says that they asked her if she was carrying a weapon. And
Well.
she said no.
Liar.
What state is this in?
Yeah. Okay, that was my next question. What state is this? Because I got a couple theories.
This is a good
I'd
question.
give you two guesses.
I don't know if it says.
I got 3 guesses. And no, I think we all know what number 1 is.
Well, we don't want to like alienate any listeners.
No, I don't want to.
No, but-
I don't want to make fun of any states unreasonably, but I will make fun of this state.
I don't know,
as soon as
but-
we find out.
It says that this was not the first time the machine has grabbed up a weapon that has discharged. Earlier that year, a man in Brazil, so this was not at the same hospital, had his gun grabbed also by the magnet, discharged a bullet, struck him in the abdomen, and he died.
Oh my god.
Now she survived. She lived.
Well, I hope so.
This is not going to be the state that you think it's probably going to be.
Really?
Did you find it,
I
Ash?
did.
It
It's
doesn't.
in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't
So
surprise me.
I knew it was gonna be a red state.
So you're just like, why? They tell you. They explain to you. You cannot have metal. And they explain to you why.
Some people think they know more.
Oh my gosh. So
Either
yeah,
way, her butt's going to remember
her
that.
butt's going to remember that
She
one,
ain't gonna
that's
take
for sure.
that gun into for another MRI.
Or she probably will.
She probably won't get another MRI. And there'll be a reason. It'll
These
be
MRIs are dangerous. They'll shoot you.
legit. And it'll be Joe Biden's fault. Well, I'm just saying it'll be the liberals' fault. But no, I who knows this.
What in the world?
Pull a Forrest Gump. Something got and bit my butt.
Jumped up and bit me in the butt. Yeah.
What in the world? What in the world?
I
Yeah. I just never.
yeah. So that I thought that was a
I'm not
interesting way to get an MRI.
I'm not. I know that I'm not the smartest person by any stretch of the imagination, but stories like this make me feel a lot better about myself.
Yeah.
So that's a skinny. That's a scoop. That's a poop.
That's the skinny. That's a scoop. That's a poop. This time.
Wowee. I don't even know what to make of that. Really.
I don't know. Now
I got a brief beef. Beef.
All right, hit me.
With both of you. Yeah.
What? With both of us?
Brief beef. This actually is a callback to episode 1. We were talking about Dante's Peak. Do you recall this?
Yeah.
Do you recall Dante's Peak?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall?
Wait, listeners. We made her watch it.
Yeah, that's the beef I have. That's my brief beef. That movie was awful. That movie was terrible. If you like natural disaster movies, what's wrong with you? But also, you'll probably like Dante's Peak. That movie was terrible. That movie scarred me.
With a volcano
that, you know what? That movie does not mess around. If you want to talk about natural disasters, there's no buildup. No. We start off with a volcano exploding.
I know.
Period.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I know. Thanks for the warning. Okay. Thanks for the warning. So that's my brief beef. Is with both of you two. Because
highly recommend watching Dante's Peak.
Peak.
Pierce Brosnan is amazing.
Pierce Brosnan is awesome in that movie.
Highly recommend going to therapy after watching Dante's Peak. It'll scar you for life. That was terrible. No, and then you guys are like, well, now we gotta watch The Impossible, and we gotta watch this, and we gotta watch it. Are you kidding me?
Love me a good disaster movie.
I do too. Well, I don't know. People like it.
Who? Who's people?
Me.
My sister, me, my sister-in-law. We're up to 4.
Liv?
Liv? No, Liv doesn't like.
I thought you said Liv like.
I didn't think Liv liked him.
Oh.
Terrible. And I tell you what, just as a quick callback to episode 1, it was 100% not side-splitting fun.
I know this. I thought that was going to be her beef because in episode 1 she said, "Is Dante's Peak not side-splitting fun?" And no one laughed at her joke. She didn't. She was mad at us.
The thing is, no, I wasn't mad because visually I could see all of you trying not to laugh. Our listeners deserve to know that you were laughing at that. That was funny.
It was terrible.
Damn it.
It was a terrible joke.
Dante's Peak was terrible.
It was good.
Wonderful.
Are you kidding with me? Did you not see the explosion?
I did.
So cool. They saved the dog.
Spoiler.
Oh, well, I didn't say anything.
Scruffy had his own adventure.
Yeah.
I would love to see the video.
Where was he until they
movie
found
of
it?
how Scruffy got onto that little ledge.
On that ledge with lava all around him. We want to know. It's like Homeward Bound, but with volcano lava.
The Adventures of Scruffy.
If you don't gasp at that, you're just not a gasper.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what to do with either of you right now. I don't know how.
Well, she refuses to watch any more with us, so.
Why would I?
Well,
Why would I? Fun.
Because they're fun.
No,
you know what?
Day after
you know what?
tomorrow?
That's a
No.
poll. That's a poll. We need to take a poll on if you are for or against natural disaster movies, or if you like or dislike.
So pretty much everyone who has listened to this, please comment on this episode. Do you like natural disaster movies,
Can
or
they
do
comment?
you not?
Is there a place to comment?
Rate the podcast, and then in your rating, do you like natural disaster
We'll have to
movies?
make a Facebook group. We'll have to make one, and then we can post a poll.
Post the poll.
We can.
I'm interested to know.
Oh.
I'm interested to know.
You know what?
Are you with Abby? Do you think they're terrible? Are you with us? Are they a guilty pleasure? Although I don't feel guilty about
Look at me.
liking them.
That movie ended. I had 1,000-yard stare. I was haunted. Okay, wait. We talked about also with the Facebook. We talked about. I don't know if you remember this on a previous episode that we recorded. That we said that there was a super secret password we were going to put in every episode.
It's true. We put it in the one episode.
Yes.
We haven't.
I won't say what that one was. Go listen to it.
Yep.
But
so what's our super secret password?
That's what I was like.
Pickles.
Pickles. Okay, pickles it is.
Super secret password is
pickles.
She said pickles.
Did I really?
No, I
Oh
don't
my
think so.
god.
Oh
Okay.
God.
All right.
I mean, we. God
You
bless
shared your
America.
beef about your old job.
That was
you got
my-
that. You got that
that
off your
was-
chest.
It's there
worst job
forever.
ever. Well, you know.
It keeps JP entertained.
There you
That's
go.
for sure.
It does.
It
It does.
keeps JP entertained. But I mean, wild.
Wow.
Now, do you? I got one final thing
Okay.
to close us out
We'll
here.
wrap it up. Okay.
Yep, we'll wrap it up. I think. I saw a funny debate article. It was a whole bunch of different things that you could debate over. You know, things like, is a hot dog a sandwich? You know, just silly stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, so the one that I saw that I briefly mentioned and we started in on, I was like, hold on, this is quality content. We have to save this for the podcast.
Okay.
So the statement was that there is no point in eating French fries without ketchup. That is the statement.
Well, that's wrong.
I have to agree.
That statement is wrong.
I don't. I'm not gonna say that ketchup does not enhance a French fry.
There are certain French fries that definitely
Typically.
need ketchup, right?
Typically, many French fries can be enhanced with ketchup.
But not your Rally's fries.
Rally's fries, Checkers
The
for those of
seasoned
us.
fries. Yum.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Dude,
The seasoned.
why would I
fries-
ruin that with ketchup?
Right. What
Cheese
actually
fries,
cheese fries
Or
nachos.
you could just get nachos.
nacho cheese with the fries.
Nacho
What
cheese.
are the fries you always get? We go to the Red Robin.
But
we
would
get
those fries still
Garlic
be good
parm.
ketchup?
garlic
The
parmesan?
garlic parm.
Well,
Those
are you
why
asking
would
me-
you put ketchup on that?
Are you asking me if cheese fries would go good with ketchup?
No, I'm saying, would those fries, if you didn't have cheese, would you use ketchup?
Depends.
Well, I mean, sure.
It depends
right?
on how they're cooked. If they're
I
really
agree.
floppy and gross and cold, probably gonna have ketchup on
If
it.
they're really floppy, gross, and cold, I'm just not going to eat that.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if I get a McDonald's French fry, I usually don't even put the ketchup on. I just eat them plain.
I never put ketchup on McDonald's fries.
Right.
Because
It's
they're
hit or
like
miss.
the most,
It-
I don't know, it's just the way they're cooked, the size of them. Like, I just don't think they need ketchup. I love them.
I'll usually
love
eat them
them
plain,
without.
but sometimes I'm in the mood for ketchup. I'll put it on there. Like I said, I'm not saying you can't eat fries with ketchup, but I'm not gonna say that there's no point in eating fries
That's
without
true.
ketchup.
Because there's fries that I eat that, like, when you dip them
Loaded cheese fries.
when you dip them in ranch, like,
Yeah, Wendy's fries, I always dip in ranch.
they're delicious in ranch.
Wendy's fries and Frosty.
Any fries in a chocolate shake.
That's
Are
what
you
I'm
kidding
saying.
with me?
That's what I'm
Although
saying.
not seasoned fries in a chocolate shake.
No, I wouldn't.
That's a
No.
crime against nature.
That would be.
Yeah.
That would be.
It can't be seasoned. Just
So basically, whoever thinks that is absolutely wrong.
I just they're
they're
like
debate
debate
over.
this
Debate
this.
over. You're wrong.
There is no debate. What do you mean? What do you mean?
There
What
are
do you
lots
mean?
of options. You don't have to have
Potatoes
ketchup.
are the most universal ingredient. They go with just about anything.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Debate wrong. He's wrong. Debate wrong. No.
He's wrong. He
This-
or she, we have no idea.
This person is
They are wrong.
Debate over. All right.
Agreed.
We're out. See
Well,
you next time.
See you next
I don't know
time.
about you guys, but I'm going to need some serious beef after this.
Absolutely.